Lisa. Hi, Kathy. Hi, everybody. Why the look, Jenny? Why that look? One raised eyebrow. What's that mean? What's that mean? Hi, Tammy. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm good. Well, let's put it this way. I'm not great, but I'm good. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. So let's talk about crazy days. Hey, today's Monday. It's the first day of the month. It's February 1st. It's 6:01 p.m. It's the year 2021. And you all invited to my house via the internet. Take a look around. If you see something you want, let me know. You can't have it necessarily, but let me know anyways. All right, the drumming. You don't like the drumming? Is that what that raised eyebrow, Jenny? It's that's an American Indian drum or Native American drum, I guess I should say. Hey, Mark and Ann. Hi. Hello. I got the call. Yeah, I saw that. You're getting your vaccine. Yeah. Yeah. When I went to sign up for Collin County, they told me I was 972,000 or something ridiculous. So I didn't sign up. I'm not going to worry about my vaccine, to be honest. But I am going to say this about COVID-19. I went out today and I walked for just about 7 miles. And I do it with a friend of mine. Normally it's Tuesday, but we did Monday for reasons I don't even care. Cynthia plans it each week. She said Tuesday didn't work. What Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Really, what difference does it make, right? So I said, yeah, sure, let's do it today. So I go out and it was windy. It was a little chilly. Wasn't too bad. I dressed in layers. It got warm. As it gets warm, you begin to take clothes off. Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. I didn't want you to not like it. I want people to enjoy. Jenny, thank you. So, we start taking clothes off. Hey, Debbie. Taking layers off. And then we went to lunch with a friend. He doesn't walk with us. He's not really up for walking that much, but he meets us for lunch every week, Wayne. So we're sitting there and it's going fine. We sit outdoors. We sit away from people, but it starts getting windy. So you start putting layers back on, zipping up your jacket, trying to stay warm. There's an overhead heater. It's not that warm. Ginny will know. It's geckos, So anyways, lunch is over. I come home. I do a little grocery shopping, but I come home and I'll end up falling asleep. I don't usually fall asleep. I do. And then I decide I'm feeling a little chilled. I'm going to take a bath. I like taking baths in the winter, not in the summer, in the winter. Take a hot bath and something's funny. I feel funny. So what do? I default to, what if I got COVID today or recently? It's like you can't sneeze some days without wondering, am I getting COVID? I coughed, I mean, it's really pervasive. It really is omnipresent. It's oppressive, but we all got to live with it, and we'll get our shots, our vaccines, when the time comes. In the meantime, you just got to kind of roll with it. The anxiety, I think, just the companies being here, living in the time of the COVID, which is preferable to being dead in the time of the COVID. So, but I wondered as I was taking this bath and I didn't begin to feel so good, I'm thinking, oh man, what did I do wrong? And then I'm like, man, every time something doesn't feel good, you start thinking about, COVID. I don't think that's unreasonable given the pervasiveness and the upsurge, but at the same time, it is a little over the top. So I posted 2 songs for today, and I don't remember. Oh yeah, Karen Carpenter, right? Rainy Days and Mondays, yeah. And I posted a link to another song by Innocence Mission, which I really like them. I have an album of theirs. And I suggest you listen to the 2 songs, or at least Innocence Mission, because you're not likely to have heard that one. Everybody heard Karen Carpenter singing her songs. So anyways, here's what I want to talk about for a little bit, because I'm feeling out of sorts, and it's not COVID. I'm feeling out of sorts because as I look around, there's an upsurge in Republican states' efforts to block the vote to Democrats, block the vote, to minimize, diminish the ability to vote. And this has been going on a long time. But because they lost a couple of key states, Arizona, Georgia, those states, which are Republican legislatures, are putting the pedal to the metal. And it's painful. It's painful to watch the Republican senators step away from what happened on January 6th, just to abandon it. And, I had to live through, as you all know, we all lived through the Benghazi crisis. We've lived through so many things where you looked at your friends who were Republicans, if you're a Democrat, and you thought, I don't understand how they're Republican. I'm talking years past. I don't understand how they're Republican, but, it's my friend. I'm probably going to go bowling with them next week, right? And now it's like, I don't see how you're a Republican, right? I mean, and they don't see how I'm a Democrat. In other words, there's no common ground anymore. I got a friend who posted something about 9/11. I thought we were going to never forget what happened. I'm like, who forgot 9/11, right? I'm like, I know what it's directed at. Somehow it's directed at the new administration. And sure enough, the comments begin to come in, and it's look what the Democrats are doing. And I'm like, how do you go there? We've done nothing to desecrate the memory of 9/11. Not a thing. Biden hasn't done it. Harris hasn't done it. Bernie Sanders hasn't done it. Elizabeth Warren hasn't done it. I haven't done it. Nobody I know has done anything to distract from 9/11. So how did that become a meme? How is it that they are now coalescing around another false narrative that somehow we have abandoned this unity that we all experienced during 9/11? First off, the unity around 9/11 was bullshit. Full out bullshit, right? We didn't know who did it at first, and then, we were going to get them, and then we found out who it was, and it was like, how do we get them? And then it was like, Texas was like, oh, you can't do this to New York. If you want to look, you want to take a poll of Texas, I guarantee you, and I mean, I guarantee you that more Texans dislike or despise New York City than like it. I guarantee you that if New York seceded from the Union tomorrow, Texas would yawn. But all of a sudden, we were riding around with American flags on every car. The super nationalism, super patriotism emerged. But it was never translated in unity. It was translated in waving the flag. But in genuine unity, Texans never, ever gave a shit about New York City. And frankly, New York City, which is a lot of liberals, never gave a shit about Texas. That's just a fact. They're two universes, spin around on their own. There is the Midwest. The Midwest tends to identify more with other Midwesterners. But Texas does not identify with New York City. And I've been to New York City. They sure as heck do not identify with Texas. And that's okay. But this phony baloney patriotism, this rally round the flag, boys, it's got to stop. Because patriotism is, in the name of patriotism, we are going to see the death of democracy. What an irony. And that's what I'm observing. And that's why I'm bent out of shape today. Because I'm watching this scenario unfold that, first off, I never anticipated the Capitol being attacked, but I certainly did not anticipate that Republicans who on January 6th could denounce what was happening and denounce the people that were responsible for it within a week, within days, would forgive and forget and start chanting, where's the unity? Now I'm seeing Republican friends post about Biden using executive orders as if somehow He's violating the Constitution. He's violating the underpinnings of democracy. Well, Donald Trump, he used executive orders 220 times. It's not the most. Obama used it more. It's not the most, but it's plenty. It's plenty. And mostly what he used them for was some serious stuff. He didn't waste them on little stuff. He went right for the jugular. And so Biden's coming back, and really most of his executive orders, for those you don't know, are simply an unraveling of what Trump did. It's not new. Most of it is not new stuff. It's not like he created climate change, the Paris Accords. He didn't invent stopping the drilling in Native American lands and or national park land. He's not inventing these executive orders out of whole cloth. What he's trying to do is he's simply trying to unravel, take back to the beginning, the way things were before Trump went nuts. It's just standard operating procedure. If you use executive orders, Trump came in and tried to undo everything that Obama had done using executive orders. Now Joe Biden, who was the vice president during the Obama years, is trying to undo the chaos created by Trump. It's just tit for tat. So why are you going to jump on social media now and rally again around your false flags and pretend like Biden has somehow invented the executive order and he's inventing this this declaration of the demolition of democracy? It's so bizarre. And so I'm having time, having a good day when I'm watching this stuff day in and day out. This guy, Kevin McCarthy, talks out all three sides of his mouth, not two sides. Go listen, go look at videos of Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. He talking out every side of his mouth. That guy hasn't got a non-corrupt bone in his body. He just doesn't. Why doesn't he? I don't know. I didn't really pay the guy attention till he started making news the last 4 years, talking out every side of his mouth. Same thing with Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. They all talk out of too many sides of their mouth. Bernie be telling you the same shit day in and day out for 25, 35 years. He's steady as a rock, man. You want to condemn him for being a progressive Democrat, that's fine. But you're not going to find him talking out of both sides of his mouth. I don't like people that do that. I don't like people like McCarthy. I don't like him defending this Marjorie Greene. I don't like Marjorie Greene. I don't like anti-Semitic people. I don't like, misogynistic. I don't like xenophobic. I don't like anti-gay people. Homophobic, excuse me. That's what I was fishing for. Marjorie Greene is homophobic. Clearly, I have no reservation about making that statement, right? And she's taking gun toting to new heights. And she's being embraced for it. Like somehow she's the greatest thing since the great white hope of Trump. It's all about the great white hope. Whether it's guns, whether it's 9/11, whether it's we are cannibalistic, sniping cows, and we are selling off and drinking the blood of children and then selling off their organs to China, whatever bullshit it is, it ought to stop. Now, I get that there are people who are poorly educated who fall victims to YouTube videos and whatnot, but I'm talking about Congress, man. I'm talking about Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, all these, Matt Gates, all of them. They're well educated. They're not falling for it. They're lying. They're lying. They're talking out of the backside of their head and the front side of their head because they want to get on board this train that they think will propel them again into the leadership of America as the great white hope. They're all vying to be the great white hope. You don't see a lot of black men doing it You don't see the Republican blacks. You don't see the Republican Puerto Ricans doing it, the Republican Mexicans. Oh, there's a reason for that. There's so few or none of them, right? This is the party of the great white hope. This is, we will tear you asunder because you once elected Obama 2 times, and we will not tolerate that again. So Matt Gaetz flies up to Wyoming to try to unravel the political life of Liz Cheney, the daughter of I don't remember his first name, Cheney, who was under Bush. I mean, this family is to the right of anybody I'm friends with. These people, Liz Cheney has never been called a liberal. As nobody's even whispered, I think she might be a liberal in their life at a Liz Cheney, right? But she stood up to the great white hope, and you can't do that in the Republican Party. You just can't do it. You got to follow the party line. So then we are supposed to sit around and absorb this, and then we're supposed to demand that Joe Biden sit down with the Republicans and negotiate a deal for the stimulus package. So the Republicans came out this morning and said, listen, there's 10 of us. We're ready to sit down with the president. We've got an alternative proposal. We think it's good. The president says he wants a unified country. If he won't sit with us, it shows he's not serious about unification. And then what is the proposal? It's 1/3 the amount of the proposal that the Democrats proffered. So now, of course, he's going to have to turn it down because they need more money than that. I've watched interview after interview with economists saying you need to infuse more money into the economy, and so the Republicans are already touting the line that the Democrats don't want a unification. These from people, these hypocrites, talking out of 2 sides of their mouth, minimum 2. Look in the back, they're probably talking out of 3, maybe 4, I don't know. Talking out their ass. Count that one, okay? So it's hard to relax and enjoy the Biden presidency when I see this venom. Now, in fairness to Republicans, nobody's been more venomous towards the Trump administration than I. There are people as venomous, but there weren't too many people more venomous than I. Absolutely. But I gave him time to have a honeymoon. I absolutely insisted that once he was elected, well, he's elected. You got to give him a shot. But, he just escalated all his bad qualities, all the qualities that he demonstrated during the campaign that made you dislike him, possibly even hate him. He just manifested. He just oozed it all once he became president. He was never at any time demonstrated any diplomacy, any statesmanlike qualities, any good plans. He just was, he was bad juju. So after the honeymoon period, that is after a period of time where people like myself cautioned against just out and out attacking him without giving him a shot, well, we resumed the attack. So, but the Republicans, they tried to unravel the Biden presidency before he could take office. They didn't go after him after he made some bad proposals. They tried to unseat him. They tried to deny him the benefit of having won the election. They were willing to take down the country. So you want to talk about 9/11? I got some talk for you. You want to talk about the United States of America? I got some talk for you. I got a whole bunch of talk for you. You want to talk patriotism? You want to talk nationalism? You want to talk unification or polarization? I got some talk for you, but I got no respect for the Republicans or the postures or the manipulations or the suppression of the voters that they have undertaken in the days since the election in November. So, but this was not supposed to be a downer day. This is, this is the first day of February. I mean, somehow if the first day of the year was supposed to be magical, so many people, and I talked about this, I don't know what magic. People wanted the first day of the year, January 1st. Oh, thank God 2021 is here. And I'm thinking, what will happen in 2021 that's different in 2020. We got the pandemic. That's not going away on January 1st. We still had Trump making a lot of noise until, January 6th. That's not cool. I mean, nothing was going to change. But here we are. It's now the first day of the second month of 2021. It's a Monday, fresh start. I don't know what to say, but I can be upbeat. Yeah, baby, I can be upbeat. But who would I be if I didn't have social commentary about the political world that is swirling around us, that is intended to deprive most of my friends of their ability to participate in the democratic process? Because the democratic process for all of us, what unites all of us really, is that we are allowed to vote. We have the right to vote, right? So you can take away my driving privileges because you caught me driving drunk. You can revoke certain privileges from me because I abused the privilege, but you're not supposed to be able to take away my right to vote while I'm a citizen of the country. Some states will do that to you if you are incarcerated or you have yet to finish your parole. I think that's bullshit, but it happens. But those of us, everybody listening to me here, you all have the right to vote. So how am I supposed to feel about anybody, much less the entire Republican Party, much less all the people that vote Republican, undertaking to deprive me of that element of democracy that I am entitled to, that I was granted, that the Constitution gave me? You want to talk about the right to carry a gun, motherfucker? Let me tell you something. Your right to carry a gun is much more amenable to restrictions and regulations than my right to vote. I got a gun, okay? There's nothing you can do about it. You can't even legislate away my right to keep a gun because I'll still have one. You just won't know about it, right? But voting's a whole nother deal. Must be done publicly, must be done under the limitations offered by every state. So if you're going to screw with that, if you're going to screw with my right to vote, I got to fight back. I got to come at you. I got to come at you hard. You want to restrict my ability to buy a gun tomorrow? You want to say that before I can buy a gun, I'm going to have to go through a universal background check? I'm on board. Go ahead, do it. You want to say I can't have a high-capacity magazine? Listen, I got some 10-shot mags. If you can beat me in 10 shots, dude, I'm all yours. You finish me off. The odds you've been able to prevail within the 10 shots we both will be given, oh man, the odds are drastically against you. But I'm up, okay? You want to limit my access to AR-15? Let's negotiate. Let's look at that, because so far the AR-15 is being used pretty funky, man. I mean, it's being used on children. It's being used on high schoolers and grade schoolers and people at Walmart. And I mean, man, come on. But the vote? How do you extrapolate that you have a right to carry a firearm, but I don't have the fucking right to vote? You want respect from me? Hell no. No. I'm going to fuck with you. I'm gonna spend some money. Governor Abbott, I'm going to spend some money. You voter suppressing motherfucker, you. I swear to God. And DeSantis, Ducey, all you guys that participate in this type of upheaval of democracy by trying to attack my right to vote or those of other Democrats, man, you've declared war. That is the one element of civil war, is to deprive somebody. That's Jim Crow, man. That's what Jim Crow is all about, depriving a segment of society their access to the polls. And you've been trying to do it to Democrats, but we keep showing up in greater numbers than you expect. So you keep trying to find a new tool, a new tactic, a new manipulation, a new suppression. Well, we're just going to keep showing up. Eventually, we're going to vote your asses out. Eventually, you keep up. If I have my way, there won't be a Republican legislature in the United States. Not because I'm opposed to Republicans having something to say about how we manage the United States of America. We're going to come after you because I'm not going to let you manage my vote. Okay? So that's why I'm upset today, right? No, man. I get it, man. I got it right early on. See, I went to public schools in Chicago. I was sitting in class. I don't do my homework. I ain't lying. Listen, I don't do homework. I'm sorry. From the first grade on, I didn't do homework. I suffered as a result. As a result of my not doing homework, even though they knew I was smart, even though they often knew I was reading materials, as a result of my not doing homework, I got bad grades. I got bad grades throughout my entire 7 years of grade school. I went to high school, and as a result of my unwillingness to do homework, I landed up in 4 different high schools. Okay, I get it, but I'm smart. And I get what's going on. And I was in class enough times. I was there often enough. I was there long enough to learn about access to the polls. I was there long enough to learn about my right to vote. And every right can be infringed upon. You can have certain regulations, restrictions, and limitations on everything. Everything has to be some sort of limitations. Otherwise, then the gun people are right. Oh, they have unfettered access to guns. Nobody can regulate their guns because this is their God-given right. They don't work half as hard for voting rights. A lot of Republicans wouldn't really care if they couldn't vote, as long as they were assured that the right way to hope we continue to run things, authoritarian government. If we told 73 million people that we were willing to accept Donald Trump as president for life, you wouldn't hear another peep out of them about voting rights. They'd be, okay, we won. See? Now, if you told me Biden was going to be president for life, I'd say, no, he isn't. No, not under any scenario you can conjure up. Is that man going to spend more than 8 years as president of the United States? I don't care if you choose one of my relatives. At the end of 8 years, time to move on, right? I have no doubt. I have no reservation in saying that I believe that most Republicans I know today, if they identify as Republican, would be content to have Trump be president for life. That he should never have to be voted on again until he dies. This is how we will thrive. They will not object. That's crazy. That's sick. And here we are. It's February 1st, 2021. It's the first day of the month. And I've watched the news all weekend and today, not a lot, just enough to know that there is a revolution underway, an insurrection, really. Revolution gives it too much credence. There is an insurrection underway. It's been undergoing for 4 years, and it's being manifested now post-Trump through the Republican Party's willful ignorance, their willful being oblivious to the Marjorie Greens. I don't even know if it's oblivious. I think no, they're not oblivious. That's my mistake. I should use the English language better. These people know exactly what they're doing. They're not oblivious. They know she got the votes, man. She's another great white hope. Cruz wants to be a great white hope. That's what these people are working on. I got nothing against white people, by the way. I'm one of them. I got nothing against a white president. Joe Biden's white. I don't care if my kids go to school and they have black teachers or gay teachers or transgender teachers, as long as they get taught. So it's not that I'm against somebody for being white. I'm against Donald Trump and all that manifests with Donald Trump, the misogyny, the anti-Semitism, the white supremacy and the racism, the denigration of women, grab them by the pussy. How do you get elected to president after that? in the United States, where the level of education is supposed to be one of the highest in the industrialized world. How do you go about get caught, covertly caught saying I grab by the pussy when I want to? They love it, or whether they let me do it because I'm powerful or whatever it was he said. I don't remember. All right, come on, man. We were here when he got voted in. Wow. So, but it's post-Donald. It's supposed to be post-Donald. But Marjorie Greene, she got on TV this weekend and she said, I had a phone call with Donald Trump and he's supporting me. He's encouraging me. He says to keep up the good work. He told an anti-Semitic, white supremacist, misogynist bitch that she's doing a good job. What's wrong with that scenario? A million things are wrong with that scenario, And if Joe Biden ever did anything like that, I would work so hard to kick his ass to the curb. You wouldn't believe what venom I would spew in social media about him if he was doing that. You dig what I'm saying? There'd be no end of the absolute poison I would direct towards him verbally, in written communications, financially. I would, as I did with Donald Trump, I would harangue the government to do something to put the man out of his misery. The FBI, the Washington Post, all these periodicals and investigative journalists have identified not only that all the machinations that Donald Trump was up to, the scary stuff. Some of the scarier stuff of this is that the FBI was told to stand down on domestic terrorist threats from white supremacists. So these past 4 years, while the FBI is telling the White House, telling the Congress that the greatest threat to American democracy, to the safety of Americans, is white supremacy and its supporters, the President of the United States is telling them to divert their resources into investigating the Black Lives Matter, Antifa, or whatever it is, right? Knowing that the director of the FBI, McRae, is telling them and testifying under oath, yeah, they're not the problem, man. They're not the big problem. Whatever problem they are is minuscule in contrast to. So hi, Robin and Debbie and Lisa, and I didn't mean to ignore Kathy and Debbie and Tammy and Ginny and everybody. I'm sorry, I got on a tear and I just ignored anything anybody wrote. Ann, you are saying all things that bother me today. It's somehow a little relieving to hear them. Thank you, Ann. I don't know that I feel relieved putting this out there, right? Because really at the end of the day, for somebody like Ann and I, where is the relief valve? Where will we find comfort watching the machinations, the political machinations of the Republican Party, when here we supposedly won? I know you've heard me say we didn't really win. We fought them to a draw, but ostensibly the media keeps telling me we won, and yet, except for executive orders, we haven't got a thing. Except for the executive orders of Joe Biden, the Republican Party has not indicated a willingness to compromise on a single freaking thing. Not one piece of the agenda to come at Biden during the most serious crisis in the history of the United States, i.e., the pandemic, and to say, no, we're not going to support you. We will fight you, but if you'll agree to cut your proposal by 2/3, we're willing to sit down and talk with you. My initial reaction is, yeah, double fuck you, right? That's the way I feel about it. So, with that going on, where's my relief valve? What, listening to music? Can you allay your anxieties by listening to Karen Carpenter and Innocence Mission? Can you allay your fears by snuggling up with your honey and acting like everything's cool? Just a little romance, light some candles, burn some incense, meditate. What are you? I, I don't have any answers. I know that I have tools to address and relieve anxiety. Part of it is community and connection. I've always come back to that. Community and connection. This community is helpful, but there's this at-large community that we are supposed to be able to participate in, and yet we're being frozen out. And as we're being frozen out, there's a plan afoot, make no mistake, to freeze us out permanently. There's a plan afoot by the Republican Party in most states, including Texas, where I live, to denigrate and diminish my access to the polls, my ability to vote, and anybody like me. What is like me? Democrat, liberal. That's who they're going after. Okay? You know what? We do tend to be better educated than the average Republican. You know what? We do tend to be better informed. You know what? We do tend to hold values that are more people oriented. Aren't we some scary people? And so instead, what I have is a governor, a lieutenant governor, and an attorney general who have repeatedly spewed excessive bullshit and have demonstrated an absolute lack of concern for old people. Let them die from the COVID. The rest of us will be okay. Who have shown a complete disdain for the fact that tens of thousands of people in Texas have no health insurance. They can't go anywhere but a public government-run facility that you and I will pay for through taxes for their health care. So I'd really rather that we all kind of pitch in together and give everybody health care. But to have turned down billions of dollars, not millions, turned down. Governor Abbott and the Republicans in Texas turned down billions of dollars from the feds to supplement Medicaid, to bring in persons who had no health insurance and to give them a plan, a defined plan, so they could have an established doctor, established hospital access, established checkups, okay, course of treatment. No, denied it all. What flag do you want me to rally around after that, right? Yeah, no. These are not my peeps, man. No way. So, anyways, it's the first day of the month. It's a Monday. I don't know. Is a Monday the first day of the week or Sunday the first day of the week? I don't know. It's February 1st. I mean, how will I know when this is over? Will the lights come on or something? Will the power kick back up? Will they reboot my life? What will they do so I know that I can finally breathe a sigh of relief and not worry that every day somebody is conspiring to deprive me of my basic rights? I'm a white male, 68 years old, living in the United States of America. And there are people right now who feel that even though they want white privilege, it should not be extended to white people like me. And if possible, 6 million Jews like me was not enough. They're supporting people who are wearing T-shirts that say 6 million wasn't enough. 6 million Jews dying in gas chambers and at the end of a machine gun, in all kinds of horrible ways. That wasn't enough. There's still more Jews yet. Job's not done. Okay? Camp Auschwitz, right? That's what the Republicans are supporting. They pretend like they're not supporting it, like they try to distance themselves. It's like, you know how the comedian comes out or, on the Tonight Show and people are applauding and they're like, that's what the Republicans are doing to white supremacists. They're saying, no. Come on. Yeah, I see this video footage of these crazy people beating cops. I've never cheered the beating of cops. I'm not a cop's best friend, mind you. But I've never cheered people beat. I never cheered when the riots were going on during the George Floyd protest. I never cheered while any business, a private business, was burned down. I had people I knew who lost their business in the George Floyd riots. There's a business in Chicago. I knew the family. They had they had a camera place in downtown Chicago for over 100 years. I knew the two sons, the one that was running it, and it burnt. It was burnt down, and uh, and it was invaluable. I mean, it had camera parts that that just couldn't find anywhere because cameras are becoming a thing of the past. I lament the loss. I lamented the loss of every Middle Easterner whose grocery store may have been burned down, convenience store. I didn't care who you were. I didn't think you deserved to lose your business. I didn't think that any small business should suffer. When I saw the photographs of Macy's in Chicago stripped bare, the first floor was stripped bare during the riots in Chicago, what used to be called Marshall Field. And I saw the police walking in. You see the cameras. You see that they broke the display case. They still, police milling around trying to find out if there's still people in there, right? I didn't feel good. Now, I don't have any particular affinity for Macy's. I don't shop in Macy's. I don't care one way or the other whether Macy's in business or not. But they shouldn't lose their shit to a bunch of crazy people, to a bunch of angry people. I'm not going to cheer that on. So why are people cheering on the possibility of me being uh, offed, me being killed? Why would anybody want to allow somebody who says 6 million is not enough to come within 10 yards of him without saying I'll hurt you? How is it that anybody can spew homophobic stuff, vitriol, and then come near one of our legislators and not be chastised and pushed back and say, no, 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 this isn't what it's about, man. You can't do that. You can't denigrate uh, homosexuals and then think that I will embrace you, that I will welcome you. You can't do that. You can't do that with blacks. You can't do it with women. You can't do it with Puerto Ricans. These are American citizens, and you have no right, and you shouldn't be doing it. If you're going to do it, I'm gonna isolate you. I'm gonna push you away. I'm gonna marginalize you. I'm not going to give you a place on the education committee. Come on, that's crazy. That's just crazy. So where's the relief valve? Like I say, is somebody going to reboot America, man? Is my TV going to come on tomorrow and they're going to say, hey, we were just kidding? We got it. We got it. We understand what happened on January 6th, and we're not going to let it happen again. The way we're not going to let it happen again is we're going to go about and we're going to fix what we broke. Because, by the way, I didn't break it. The Democrats didn't break it. I mean, I've taken a hard look at this. How did this get broken? I know how it got broken. It's an embrace of the extremist ideology that's being manifested by white supremacists and has been for a long time. But to illuminate it, not in an effort to drive it away, to drive it back into its hole, to make it go down a manhole cover, into a cave or wherever it is that roaches should reside. No, they shined a spotlight on it as if to take a bow. Like, ta-da! And they are taking bows everywhere. Just look on social media and see Proud Boys taking bows, QAnon taking bows. Taking bows. By that I mean they're bragging about what they did. Even now, even when they're in legal jeopardy, many of them are taking bows. They're saying what we did was for America. No, baby, it wasn't for me. You did that for white people that you think got a raw deal. You didn't do it for America. You did it for some ass wipe. All right, it's time to go. How do I do meta after just unraveling in front of you, lauding you for being my community, my connection, my sanity at times? How do you go from that to, oh yeah, and so let's do a little loving kindness for everybody, right? It's very difficult, but it can be done. I've done it so many times before, and I'll endeavor to do it again. You know, I will. It's just, I'm just afraid. It's just a crazy world, man. I don't understand, right? There's something that ought to be something I can do it myself. I'm looking for something. Yeah. Give me a second. And then we're going to go away. Don't go away, Matt. Just go away. No. It's not what I meant. I'm just kidding you. I'm taking a deep breath. I'm trying to chill, man. Okay? I really am, because I don't know. I just feel this. I feel like this effort to disenfranchise me is so insulting. It's bad enough you tried to disenfranchise all these other people, but then to turn around and try to disenfranchise. I mean, I get when you think you can get away with disenfranchising people that aren't as well educated as some. Maybe you think that these poor uneducated black people, Puerto Ricans around the country, you can pull the wool over their eyes. You're not pulling the wool over my eyes. You're slapping me in the face openly. You're saying, I don't care how well educated you are. I don't care what you understand about the Constitution. I don't care, Ken Goldberg, that in some regards you might be a constitutional scholar, well-educated lawyer. No respect, man. I got to go. So I want you to know that I wanted to find a blessing. I wanted to share a blessing rather than the meta right away. Maybe meta's better tomorrow. Bring your hands before your hearts if you would. Bow your heads and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. We're in this together. We are kindred spirits. We share this journey sometimes only for the 45 minutes we're present. But we are people who care. We are people who have hearts of gold. Just as the rivers full of water fill up the ocean, even so does that here give benefit the deceased. Whatever you wished or wanted, may it quickly be. May all our wishes be fulfilled as the moon on the 15th day, or as a wish-fulfilling gem. May all distress be dispelled. May all diseases be destroyed. May no dangers be for us. May you all be happy and living long. You of respectful nature, whomever the elders honor, 4 qualities for you increase: long life, beauty, happiness, and strength. Satu, Satu, Satu. May the blessings of the Buddha follow you all for the next 24 hours until we meet again. May good news rain down upon us sometime soon. And may we find peace and comfort in the way that our country is struggling to be unified. Namaste. Thank you, Lisa, Joan, Mark, Debbie, Ginny, Anne, Kathy, anybody that was here. Just saying. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Robin, Mark, I think I said. Peace out, baby.